Crazy. But then I started playing online, and then once I moved to my my own place in Bredasdorp, I got a nice little 4 meg ADSL. For those of you that remember, that was the goat. Because the moment you focus on only the local scene is when you are going to stagnate. You are going to stagnate because there's only so much South Africans.
Like I say, it's the thing I love about you the most, and watching you and stuff, and it's why I come through every day, and I got to poke a little bit at the Henny and see what he's doing, and hit him with the Henrik 7. Like, no, you still got the best. You still got the best salute. You saw on the 1 year, I used it like 1,000 something times. It was like 3 times a day.
I see you salute on everyone's streams.
Dude,
So
I love that one so much.
go look at Yuan 27 or Susan 24. They've maybe never had a sponsor. Like, recommend them. The marketing team will hopefully go do their diligence and go check if this person is fit for the cut. We don't have to gatekeep sponsors. Like, you don't have to do that. Are their visions sometimes a little bit skewed about certain subjects? Absolutely. But
Good aftermorning. We are back with another Who Is, this time with Henricom, who's like one of the people I've been most excited to do an interview of, because he puts up with an exceptional amount of my in his chat. And I've been in this man's chat for 4 years, and he literally said, I wish someone would interview me. And so here we are. Now, if you have any regrets, you only have yourself to blame.
I bet he says that about every guest. He probably says like, oh, I've wanted to interview this person for so long. He's making this up, guys. If I find a video where he says the same thing, we're going to come back for him, okay?
This is only the third one, so it'll be very difficult because I can actually remember what I said. It's only been a week since I started recording. This is the third person
you've said you're waiting so long to talk to them.
No. I said it was nice to have them on, because equally I actually was really keen. But you're a little bit different, because the way that I found you was actually inorganic. Normally I just cruise the Twitch sort of highways, and as raids happen, I find new streamers. But Josh was like, bruh, you got to come check out this guy. You got to check this guy, because we were doing work together at the time. And he's obviously your best mod. I mean, easily. Because Josh.
Josh.
I love that white end screen with Josh when you're done. The only thing I don't
changed
like
it now, but yeah, it's been there for a while, but I changed it now.
I don't like seeing that, because I'm lazy and you didn't raid for me so that I could lurk someone else to earn channel points so I could annoy them. But no, you just had to leave it on your own thing. I've only got 380,000-ish channel points on your side. It's just maybe, 5. Only? No,
I don't raid people.
No, we had a day of I think it was Annoying Dog, or which is the other one that just blows up your whole screen? And
there's the Annoying Dog, and then there's the face going,
yeah,
like that one. Yeah,
the Sally face, dude.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, I remember. I may have spent like 80,000 points on doing that as well during a day, while man's trying to place. Yes, but dude, it's been. I have to say, the hardest I've ever laughed at a South African streamer was watching you play Chaos Mod in GDA. It was lit. I think that is peak TV, maybe ever, because you're just about to get there, and then reverse gravity or something like that hits something just like all cars are attracted to you or something, and just the way you like look at chat, it's like you're staring into our souls for a moment. They're like,
ruining me, man.
How dare you do this to me, sort of vibe. No,
the game is Chaos Mod is both the most fun and the most hatred ever, because the thing with Chaos Mod is, and I think this is something that a lot of streamers want to admit, right? Like, it's with most new games. You play a new game, and like the first 15 to 30 minutes, dude, it's hyped. Like, everyone's like, yo, he's playing this, and like every move you make gets a reaction.
Yes.
But then eventually, like, oh, he's not playing Counter-Strike, or he's not playing Tarkov, or he's not playing PUBG or whatever. So that's kind of boring. I'm going to leave now. So then it kind of just dies down, which is the same for Chaos Mod. But I feel like with Chaos Mod, you can keep people there for like a solid hour or two, especially if they're enjoying it.
I'm there every
but then
minute.
but then it gets to like the middle part, and you like realize that less and less people are like interacting with the options you have for Chaos Mod, GTA Chaos Mod, and then you're kind of just like, okay, now I can actually just speedrun the game. I just need to play as fast as possible, because if no one's fucking me over, then we're good. But then it takes one person to come back, and you're just about done with the mission, and then someone's like, you know what, dude? have some insane gravity, and then boom, everything's failed. You have to start over again.
Yeah, no, dude. There was one with a forklift in a loading yard, and it was literally 40 minutes, dude, to get it done, kind of thing, just with this all going on. I've nearly missed uploads because of watching you playing games. I'm not even kidding, dude. It was I was cry laughing on this end of the world.
Bad.
Because that's what like gaming was about. Just for all of you in the audience, there's going to be a lot of yappa because it's Henrico now. It's like gasoline and matches.
We're old. We're old.
But dude, gaming used to be about having fun and kind of trolling your mates and that sort of stuff. A lot of that was kind of intertwined in it. But anyway, let's get into who is Henrico M. So Henrico, where did you grow up?
So my life is a little bit of a mess. But I always tell people I grew up in two places, but I ended school life in Saldanha in the West Coast. Saldanha, also a lot of people might know Vredenburg or Langebaan in that area. Saldanha is a proper fisher's town. Saldanha is a proper fisher's town. Like you go to a store and there's an uncle and an auntie walking around in pluckies with an inky still in their mouth. Like people just don't care.
Yes.
So pretty much from grade 3, 4, we moved to Bredasdorp, which is in the Overberg, close to the southernmost tip of Africa. I was there in the school for Laerskool Bredasdorp. Great time, loved it. A lot of my friends that I still have to this day are from that school. And then after grade 7, I was still in Bredasdorp, but I went to a high school in Caterden. Overberg High, I was in the hostel or courses, as a lot of people might know it. I don't know if is boarding school the other word, I think?
Yes.
Okay, so I was in the boarding school thing. And then grade 10, due to some life things just happening, I moved back to my dad, which was in Saldanha, and he's been there basically his whole life. And I finished, I did grade 10, 11, and 12 then. I finished matric there, and I worked there until I would say probably 6 months after I finished school. So I guess I'm just lucky to say that I have two hometowns, because both those towns are very dear to my heart. And I'll go back to both, and I will always know someone. And luckily enough, someone will know me, like maybe someone from a store that I've met, or like old friends or anything. So pretty much from small towns, never grew up in the city, never had that whole thing. Yeah, that's pretty much that's where I'm from.
The boarding school really makes a lot of sense, because you've always had the look of a man who's smelled too many farts involuntarily.
Yeah.
Like
we had 5 to 6 guys in a room as well. We had 5 to 6 guys in the room.
Sorry, my phone is haven't silenced it.
All good.
So much before.
Professional podcaster, by the way.
Yeah,
guys.
yeah.
Honest
Exactly.
phone. Professional.
It's not my first day even. I don't even have an excuse over here. Okay, so but like Kaapstad is home. By being in and around the sea, you know, that kind of thing. So
always been in the Western Cape.
And the air quality there. My dad's got a fishing place in Gansbaai, bro, and I'm just
nice.
He sends me pictures of fish that he actually catches and then cooks, and you know, he's like one
that
of
was us in
those
Saldanha.
old school guys.
I lived literally, and this is not an exaggeration, I can show you on maps even. I lived literally 50 meters from the ocean. So a lot of Saturdays, my dad is a proper Afrikaans policeman. So every Saturday, well, I would say most Saturdays, we would literally go down to the beach. We'd get some mussels, maybe dig for some prawns, maybe catch a few fish or whatever. We'd go back up.
You caught your own prawns?
Fishing season. Yeah, prawns is easy. You literally walk into the ocean. You have like this long silver, it looks like a bicycle pump. It's just long and metal.
Okay.
And you push it in the sand, pull, and you push it into like a little net, and the prawns come out. Unless it was cray diving season, because then crayfish diving was peak season. So then every Saturday morning you'd go get your crayfish, come back, and then go down to the ocean or go down to the beach, get some mussels, prawns, whatever, go back up, and then literally start a fire and just fry and make good seafood fresh. And there's a lot of things, like I'm a sucker for a good ocean basket, but nothing quite compares to from the ocean to the stove, to the fire, to your plate. It is,
because that thing was just alive, bro. It was just feeding and eating, chilling, hanging out there. The next thing it's in a tube. The next thing is in a net, bro. And the next thing is in your fire. So
it's on your fire, and it's delicious.
And I don't actually like fish that much, but prawns. Oh, I think if you have taste buds that are working, you probably have a bit of a weakness for lemon butter prawns. I think that's like it should
Yeah, I
be
think everyone.
it
There's no
should
way
be
you
in
say
there.
no to that.
Yeah, no,
Even if
no.
it's just the sauce, like lemon butter, or we did it there. We did garlic butter.
Okay.
Lemon butter is delicious, but garlic butter, like, it just
Same, but
hits
same.
hits a little bit
It's
different. Yeah, same, but different.
but still same. It's still
Mhm.
a slapper. Okay, so then after school, did you want to study? Did you want to just go to work? Like, what was the plan?
So I really wanted to study. I really did want to study. I wanted to get. One of my friends had this very, very high up certificate that everyone wants and thinks going to solve their life, called an A plus N plus. I think a lot of people will know about this, which everyone tells you like, oh, if you get this, your life will be sorted. So I really wanted to go study that. Unfortunately, there was not the funds for this at this point, and I don't blame anyone for that. It is just how life kind of came my way. So I actually started working when I was like 16. Actually, I started working when I was 15, but I tell people 16 because just so that in case someone arrests me, I started doing bouncing work and bartending work because I'm a pretty big guy. So I always gave off the idea that I'm a little bit older. So I actually used to do bouncing work with my dad, and I used to do bartending work with my dad. So throughout my matric year, well, from 16, I used to do it like the odd job, very, very odd every now and then. And the matric year, because now I'm basically 18, but I'm not yet because I only have my birthday in June. I try to work as much as possible, so every weekend. Um, and after matric, again, as I said earlier, my dad is a proper South African policeman. I had to like literally some Saturdays get up at 6 a.m. and he would like inspect my room. Like I'm not even making that up. It's just how he was, how he is,
Yeah.
making sure that your shit is sorted. And after matric, he told me to go find a job immediately. And I said, Dad, can I please have my December holiday? And he said, okay, I'll give you a December holiday. And he told me, I think it was the 2nd of February, you'll have a job. And halfway through January, I was like, it's okay. He'll forget. The 2nd of January, 7 a.m., my dad knocked on my door and he's like, thumbs up. And I had to go get a job. So I walked down to the local pub where I worked before many a times. Walked in, was very, very lucky that I knew the owners. That's the cool thing about a small town. If your dad is a policeman, everyone knows him, so everyone knows
Yes.
you as well. So walked in there and I was like, my dad kind of wants me to get a job. Is
No.
there any chance? And the guy literally said,
You hit
welcome.
them with this neck move like this, like
Yeah. Guys, it's not going good, guys. I don't want to get hit when I get home.
Yes.
But it was literally that I was very, very lucky. Walked in and then he said, do you want to start now? And so I worked for the place called Sandstone, still exists in Saldanha. Delicious food if you ever want to go. I worked there pretty much from start of February until I want to say May month. Um, I enjoyed it, but I immediately recognized or realized that I can't do this forever because it's working in a bar is, yes, it's fun, but those hours sometimes can catch up to you. And
Drunk people suck. Let's be real.
drunk, honestly, I never had an issue where I had drunk people because I guess again because everyone, like, I hate to say this and it sounds so boasty, but I think if you've grown up in a small town and your dad is kind of known or anyone in your family is kind of known, everyone knows who you are. So I had that luckiness where someone would walk into the bar. I've never seen their face before, and I look a lot like my dad, and they'd be like, "Hey, Klein Saki," which is what everyone used to call me. So everyone knew me. So I never had the experience of bad drunk people. Well, I say that I don't agree with you? No, because I absolutely agree with you. Drunk people can be absolute because they just don't listen. They don't listen, especially if it's like 2 a.m. and you're supposed to close, and they're like, "Come on, just one more," and you're like, sorry, can't do it. Yeah, drunk people can get too much.
I had
And
a really
then
good Wookiee comeback for that Klein Saki though.
what?
Dis 'n groot sakkie.
Luckily, me and my dad are kind of the same size, so but I was always Klein Saki
because you're young, yeah. It's more of an age thing than a size thing in Afrikaans, which people don't get.
Exactly, more of an age thing. Then I saw an ad. Actually, no, a friend told me about an ad in the local newspaper in the small town that I lived in before, Bredasdorp, for a spot at Vodacom, and it was a manager spot. Well, it was first like 2IC type of vibes. And I was like, you know what, dude, I'm gonna apply. I had no experience. I did not have the experience on that they wanted because they wanted like 1 year of tech experience or whatever.
I'd
And
buy a
like
phone from
being
you, though.
able, yeah, dude, I'm good at selling phones. So, here I am. I'm not even 19 years old. I'm 18 years old still. I apply for this job, and a week later, my phone rings, and it's a number I don't know. I like life. I answer it, and it's the owner of that Vodacom branches. It was called Telectro, and he phoned me, and we spoke for a bit. And I'm very good with my mouth. Like, I'm really good at talking. I am good at talking as well, but I'm really good at talking and convincing someone that I can, because I wasn't scared of working. That was never my issue. It was just like I didn't have the experience. So I had to convince this guy, yes, I don't have the experience, but I told him about like my computer experience, and I told him about like the phones that I've had and all that. And then I got the job. So literally the 1 week I was still working at this bar in Sandstone, and the next I was moving back 4 hours away to my old hometown and starting there at Vodacom. So dropped everything, pretty much left, and immediately got myself a nice little place to live in, and I started working at Vodacom. After a good, like, I think it was like a year and a half or two, there's another town close to it also called Cadogan, which is like, depending on what you drive, like a 45 to an hour away. I drive the Tata, so for me it was an hour away. But if I had
Was
like
it
a
an
dub,
Indica?
yep, the
Oh,
OG 2006
dude,
Indica. Yep, my
dude,
mom bought it for me. It was best gift ever.
magic.
Um, then I got the manager position there, which was very, very cool. And I was just settling into this whole manager spot, and like, being able to be more senior, more adult, like, and like taking a little bit more responsibility when it comes to upset clients or scenarios that not any sales consultant should be handling. And one of my friends messaged me and said, "Hey, dude, Capitec has some positions for support people." And I was like, "Ah, yeah, dude, throw in my CV." Like, I did not expect anything at all, because that was me. That meant moving to the city, and again, I know computers, I know tech, but I cannot prove that on paper. So it's more just like kind of the experience from working at Vodacom. And I did do a lot more at Vodacom than just phones. We had servers that I had to make sure was working. I learned a lot from my boss there, because they used a little Linux server, and I've never worked on Linux before, and he taught me everything I needed to know for like to keep the databases up and yada yada yada.
If only we
And
could
yeah,
game
like,
on Linux, bro. It would just
dude,
be.
I think I might have tried it. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Got an email from Capitec, and they were like, "Yo, we would like to interview you." And I was like, "Hey, cool, I'll just go do it." Like, again, I had zero hope, zero, because this is a big corporate. This is not a small little tech place. This is a big corporate place with like 13,000 employees. So I know the odds are stacked against me, but I still went. And I think it was like 3 weeks of silence, nothing, literally nothing. And remember, one morning came to work. It was a Tuesday. Got a little zzz on my phone, and boom, offer of employment. And I was like, I'm taking it. I'm taking it. So the Capitec the Capitec head office is in Stellenbosch.
Okay.
Just outside of,
Stellies
or
is
just
banger
outside of
though, dude.
Stellenbosch.
Yo, I love
Yeah,
Stellenbosch,
love,
bro.
love it. Beautiful place. Beautiful place. Um, I'm At that point, I was very lucky. My grandparents have lived their whole life in Somerset West. They bought a house here in like 1965 or whatever the hell. It was the same house that I'm living in now. And I asked them, I said, "Listen, I will completely understand if you guys say no, but is there any chance I can maybe just come stay in the room here for a bit, just so I can get on my feet?" And they were very, very happy to do that, welcomed me with open arms. I'm very, very fortunate. And yeah, I've been living here ever since. I eventually inherited the house, so I'm very, very lucky to have a house today. So, working at Capitec for a bit. Capitec was not my best experience in life. It was a very low for me, because I don't think a lot of people, well, I can't say a lot of people, but people who don't work in corporate, yes, you might work in retail, which is just as bad, but corporate is like a different level, the rat race. Like, that whole thing about you're just a number, it really comes into perspective when you work for a company with like more than 10,000 employees,
Yeah, man.
because they don't care. It's nothing personal, it's just business. They don't care. What if you're not happy, move on. That's literally it.
Yeah.
So it wasn't a great time for me. We eventually moved our branch to Belleville, which took my travel time from 15 minutes to 2 hours there, 2 hours back. So
A
4 hours there in
day.
the car. Yeah,
Nah, dude.
4 hours in the car. It got a bit hectic, and I instantly started looking for other work. And yeah, unfortunately, never got something until 2019 August. I found a job at a little software company, just here in Somerset West, and started working there until 2022. I think. When was COVID? 2020. I think 2022. Start of 2022 is when I resigned. and went full-time with streaming. So yeah, that was my last work in 2022.
And blink and
January
3
when
years are gone, dude.
now it's 2025. No idea how we got here, but
I
here we
know
are. And that's
it's
literally
wild,
where
man.
I'm at. That's where I am at life. That is where I came from.
I want to ask you kind of a related question that just popped in my head. Don't you find that when you're doing content creation, you almost have time blindness? Like months just disappear, and you're just going every day live and just doing the thing, and the next thing 3 years, dude.
Everyone told me, a lot of people told me, like older people would tell me, like once you hit 23, it like speeds up a little, but once you hit 25, like there's just no more. You cannot grasp time anymore. And I always thought, like, in my mind, I was like, that's so dumb. Like, why would time go faster? Let me tell you, 23. When I hit 23, dude, time just started flying. And then 25 was when I was still a Capitec, and 25 just. Sorry, no, 25 was not when I was a Capitec. That was just when I was starting at the new place. In 2020. Time has not stopped still. 2020 was a blur regardless. Like, I still feel like it's 2020.3 at this point. Like, we haven't passed 2020 yet. To me, we're still in 2020.3 version 2.0798. But time just does not stop anymore. Like, every day is like a normal day, but then you blink and then, oh shit, Friday. And then you're like, oh fuck, it's Monday again. Like, time does not stop. As you get older, life gets busier, and I think things just go super fast. Super fast. With streaming especially, because you're always like looking forward to like the next event or whatever you're gonna do on the next stream. And I think that's what makes time just kind of fly.
Yeah. You just kind of, you're looking forward to a match that you've even forgot where you've been, kind of, in a way,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely. There's
Good
things that I've
way.
done. Like, I can't even remember what I did last week on stream, but here we are. Like, next week's coming already. So
I know what you did last week on stream, because you started doing shorts, and I was in one of those shorts, and it got views, and I was like, yeah, it was a
What do you mean
pretty,
I started doing shorts? What do you mean by that, bro? I've been
like a
posting shorts
mole,
every day for like 3 years.
No, but like,
Yeah, true.
like
Filthy has been on top of it. My editor.
he's
Shout out
been
to my
doing
guy.
good. He's been doing good work. There's been
He's doing
some
very
really
well.
good excerpts and stuff. I like that you are very real on it as well. You don't shy away from your failures. It's not just like a highlight reel. You actually put you fluffing the knife in that game we played the other day.
Oh, dude, that's a good clip.
It was just sorry. I tried not to laugh. We are not laughing. Was what I wanted to do, but self-control just lapsed there for a moment. So
Yeah,
I
no,
just,
that's good. It's
just
good fun.
live on the pod, I gotta apologize, you know, to my boy.
Nothing like a good fumble. Nothing like a good fumble.
But it's I love taking these kind of rare opportunities like this, where I'm, you know, in between sort of projects and stuff, and I actually have the time to come and hang out with a homie. So thank you for having me.
I think that's like the first time we've gamed in a good while.
Bro, the
Because
last time
before that, I think the last time we played was CSGO. That's 2 years ago.
Yeah, and it was on a Saturday morning on an EveTech stream, by the way.
Oh yeah, you're right. I remember I had to behave. I remember now. Yeah. I remember I had to behave.
Yeah.
I remember this. Dude, holy, time has flown.
Yeah, dude. So that's what I'm saying, is it's like a weird time blindness scale where it's so rapid. So on the note of gaming, how did you get started? Did you have like influences? Were you just like, I'm on a place in the middle of nowhere, there's nothing else to do? Like, what was the motivating factor?
No, I always had TV games for the back in the day, where your parents would buy you this 200 rand TV games. I was like 5, 6 years old. No, I'm lying. 4 or 5 years old. We always had TV games. Played Super Mario. That's the only one I remember. Which was really cool. And then in grade 1, when I was 6 years old, Spur. Some of you might remember this if you're old enough. Spur used to have this competition with Smarties, where you could win a PlayStation 1.
Yes,
And you would basically open the box, fill it in, and then go give it in or whatever. And then my mom, she bought like, it was like a bag of Smarties, a bag of big box of Smarties. She filled like a whole jug, and she said, let's fill it all out. So we filled in like 24 or whatever the hell it was. And I won. I won a PlayStation 1, which was amazing.
Dude, you were like,
PlayStation 1. Dude, I was over the moon. I've told people at school, no one believed me. And then some friends came over and they're like, damn, he actually got a PlayStation 1. And that's where it kind of started with gaming for me. I was very, very fast addicted to playing Driver 2, Spyro, Colin McRae, Siphon Filter, all
Well,
these
Siphon
very,
Filter.
very.
Do you know how few people just know even about Siphon Filter, dude? Like
There's,
the real
and I'm
ones.
so mad that more people don't know about it because it's such a good game.
It was a
I,
banger,
I,
dude.
this is gonna sound weird to a lot of people. I sometimes go on YouTube and I watch Siphon Filter 1 playthroughs on PlayStation 1. It looks god awful. Like it looks. Remember Bounce on the Nokias that came out?
Yes.
The graphics are worse than that, but it is the nostalgia. Like even like dialogue, you hear it, you're like, I remember hearing that when I was
Yes.
like 6 years old.
Yeah, yeah. And
But
they were so
that's
cool,
when
the spies in that. They were like the coolest
and
dudes, and like I
aiming
know
and
it.
dude, the
I
guy was
remember.
so cool. He would like walk into rooms and everyone would turn their heads like he was this cool super spy. It was like James Bond but cooler, you know.
Yes.
Um,
He was a
I was just
gritty
such a
James
cool game.
Bond. He would just shoot people and like ask
Basically,
questions later, kind of vibe. Yeah.
basically.
I remember three.
And then
I went when I went to America for the first time. I literally went and got the collector's edition of Siphon Filter 3 there,
oh,
just so that I
I
could say
wish
I owned
you
it.
can have it.
Like, dude,
Yep.
yeah, it was a good one.
That was so
So,
cool. Speaking of, I remember when I got my PlayStation 1. So you just get the PlayStation. You don't get games with.
you get a
But
demo
back in the
disc.
day,
You get a demo
that's
disc,
what I was
but
about to
there's
say.
ass.
Back in the
It's
day,
ass,
you
dude.
got a demo disc, and
Yeah.
the demo disc had Colin McRae Dirt Rally 1 or whatever on it. And you could only finish 3/4 of a certain map. So I learned that if you just don't finish the map, you can keep on driving.
Yes.
So I would like try and explore as much as I could, even though the map is like this big. But that's what I played for like 2 weeks straight, and it was so fun. Then we went to Toys R Us. There's still Toys R Us, and they sold PlayStation 1 games. And I remember I asked my mom for a game, and it was 150 rand, and her eyes got so big because it's 150 rand
Yeah.
for a game. Which obviously in 2001 was a lot of money. And then she heard from someone at work that, oh, you should just chip it. And I didn't want to ask them to chip it because all my friends told me about chipping it, which is when you could burn games, pretty
Yes.
much pirate games. And I got it chipped, and then I just got all the games because the games were like 10 rand each, and no one cared.
You go to the
Grade,
flea and they've got like bins where it's like pick
literally
6 for
bins.
10 for $100. Like
so many games, like any game you could think of, anything you could think of, they had it. Like there's no game that you mentioned like, oh no, we don't have it. You just literally ask them for the game, like, oh cool, yeah, and then they pull out a thing. Oh, here you go, boom, CD disc done, copied and burned. Or if they don't have it, they just made it for you right there because everyone had like burner DVD or CD-ROMs. Sorry,
and this is the
burner
era
CD-ROMs.
as well where they were just like, let's take a weasel and put him on drugs and he eats apples. Enter Crash Bandicoot, and that became like a massive classic game. Like,
oh, dude, Crash Bandicoot was so fun. Loved that game.
Crash Team Racing, though. Crash Team Racing, I will say better than Mario Kart. Better at that point in time when CTR came out, better than Mario Kart.
Never played Mario Kart in my life, so happy to say that. Never played Mario Kart in my life.
Tony Hawk's Pro
I
Skater
don't know if
2?
you remember this. Sorry?
Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2?
Oh yeah, no, everyone played Tony Hawk's.
Okay. That's fine. This is why we can be friends. Yeah.
I don't know if anyone remember this, but in Crash Bandicoot 3, if you were smart enough and someone told you about this, there was a way before the game started, you pressed a combination of buttons and it would open a demo of Spyro in Crash Bandicoot.
That's pretty gangster, actually.
Yeah.
Damn, okay.
I thought it was the coolest thing ever. I gatekept it so hard. I told all my friends about this, and they were like, "How do you do it?" I'm like, "I'm not going to tell you. I don't want to tell you.
Just show up to his house and do the thing,
secret.
and then be like, "Look,
him."
Yeah."
But yeah, it was pretty much just console or PlayStation 1. Then grade 3. Grade 3, my stepdad got a new computer and he gave us his old computer. But just before that, I went to go visit some friends. Or I went to go have a play date with some friends, and they had a computer and they had a game called GTA Vice City installed. And I tell you, I fell in love within a minute. I played GTA Vice City so much on their computer. I would literally go from school to their house, and they didn't care, which was kudos to them. I would go to their house, and I'd be like, "Yo, can I play some GTA?" And they're like, "Yeah, sure." And they would do whatever, and I would just be in their house playing GTA.
Playing GTA.
So grade 3, my stepdad got a new computer, so we got his old little Windows 95 box, goated machine, and I asked, can I get GTA Vice City? And we got it. Obviously, it's a PG-18 game, but my stepdad enjoyed it, and he liked the game as well. So I also play. He's like, it's fine, let him play it. So I played
think
as well.
as an adult as well, it hits you with like Miami Vice vibes because of like
Yeah.
the setting and
He
everything.
loved it. He loved it. He would play for hours. I don't think he's ever completed the game. He only caused skak. That's all he did.
Oh,
and
really?
He
Just run around.
And that's
mayhem.
GTA. That is what's so cool about GTA. The whole
But did you
world
finish,
experience.
Did you finish the helicopter mission by yourself, or did you get someone to do it for you?
No, I did it after months, literal months. But I did finish it. I remember I got GTA Vice City in grade 3 and I finished it in grade 5. So it took me 2 years to finish the game. So it took me months to finish that. There's also points in the game where the game kind of just stops until you've bought certain places. And obviously I didn't know that. There wasn't internet. There was internet, but I didn't have access to internet. There was no place to go read a guide. Yeah. The only guides we had back then was Cheatbook Database. And Cheatbook Database even didn't have...
Database, dude. Oh, my word. You're taking me back to Nagmags, dude. In 2005.
That was the only way to figure these things out. And I never knew that you had to buy certain places. So, like, one day I was playing and I bought a certain place, like the ice cream shop or whatever. Oh, boom. Missions. The game continues. Until I eventually did finish it, which was great. And that is where my addiction started. It got so bad that my parents took away the computer. They took it because I did not do anything else but play computer games. Not computer games, GTA Vice City, literally. Here and there, some other things. But I never had internet. We never had internet or anything like that.
You never did CS versus bots and stuff like that?
I got that when I got a little bit older. So once I hit grade 5, 6, one of my friends from school, he invited me for a LAN, and I was like, what is that? And he's like, yeah, you just bring your PC. So I was like, I have to take my computer out of my house? Like, are you for real, right? And he's like, yeah, just bring it. Like, we'll have a cable for you, you're good. So went to go ask my parents, they said no. And I was like, cool. So I asked their parents to ask my parents, and then they said yes. And then I started LANing. And that's where CS 1.6, actually it was CS 1.6 and Source at this point. And that's when I started LANing. But that was proper LAN, not going to a place and playing online games. That was pure offline LAN. No TeamSpeak. You all sit in a garage and yell at each other. That was literally it.
The core of LANing.
The core. And that's where that's where I learned about Counter-Strike and Call of Duties and stuff like that. That's when I played that. And then obviously the addiction just grew from there. Once I hit grade 7, no, in grade 6, I learned about World of Warcraft, which is still my favorite game to this day. Didn't have internet, but my friends had internet, so whenever I would go, every weekend I would go to their house and I could play online World of Warcraft there, because we didn't have original CS keys, so I couldn't play CS online, unfortunately. And then from there, it just kind of humbled more and more and just played more and more games. I only started playing online games fully in 2009, which when I got my first ever Vodacom dongle.
Okay.
Small little Vodacom dongle. My mother paid 359 Rand a month for 1 gig of data for me, which is, bless my mother's soul. I love you so much, Mom. That's what she paid for a gig a month. And that gig lasted me.
Dude, I just set up an old dude from my church. He had a Rain 5G that was giving like 5 meg down and maybe half a megabit up. And I was like, no, take this trash, get rid of it. It's like 600 and something Rand a month as well. And this was 350 Rand a month. Came with a router. He's got 600 gigs of data and it does 300 megabits down and 75 up.
Dude, times have changed. Times have changed.
Like
by the end of that contract, because it was 2 years.
Yeah.
So that was from grade 10 till the trick, so I could upgrade, but I didn't even upgrade, so I just changed it to like a SIM only deal. By the end of that 359 turned into like 10 gigs a month, which was great. I mean, on my phone, I literally pay 99 Rand a month and I get 10 gig. I get not 10. What am I saying? I get 50 gigs a month. Crazy. But then I started playing online. And then once I moved to my my own place in Bredasdorp, I got a nice little 4 meg ADSL. For those of you that remember, that was the GOAT. If you had a 4 meg line, you were the coolest person alive. Anything more than that, you were a god. Like, no, you're untouchable. Moved to Cape Town, or when I moved here. Literally, I moved here, and then about a week later, they started digging out the thing here, the sidewalk. And I remember wondering, like, what are they doing? What are they what are they doing? You know, like one day, and then I drove past and I just saw OpenServe. So I was like, I wonder what that is. So I was just curious, and I went home. I was like, oh my! I went to work and I went to go Google, and I was like, oh, fiber. And then a month later, we had fiber, and then I have not looked back, have not looked back. Sorry, playing just online. Now I just do everything online, everything.
But then, so that was like the 4 meg would have been like your first full sort of unadulterated access to like real gaming and stuff. And I'm assuming that would have been like probably even more of a Battlefield COD era, because Source was terrible and it just like died in a lot of senses.
I got internet just as CSGO came out of beta. So CSGO came in 2014, early 2014.
Was it in 2012? Actually,
sorry, you're right. 2012. I'm sorry, you're right. It was 2012. You're right. So I got CS:GO. Sorry, what I meant to say is when it just got a little bit better, and everyone was playing it. That's when the gambling also just started. So there was quite a rise. And I've always played Source and I've always played Source and 1.6, but I never played CS:GO. So I got CS:GO, and then the rest is I played so much. I didn't play anything else from morning till night. Well, when it was not working, comp. Nothing else. Not deathmatch. Not casual. Comp. Log in. Load in. Boys, we comping? Yes or no? Hop on the TeamSpeak server. Yes, we use TeamSpeak servers. Hop on the TeamSpeak server. If someone wants to play, no. If no one wants to play, boom. I'm playing on my own. And this Nova 2 over here was a god until I started ranking. And then I realized, okay, I'm not as and I started like outranking some of my friends, but I had some of them that stuck with me. And then we all pretty much just grinded, and that's where I fell in love with CS:GO. Everything else I've always just played offline with bots, so I can't say that I enjoyed 1.6 or I used to love Source. I can't say that because I only played against bots. I never played against actual people, so I don't really know if I count as an OG in that regard. But CS:GO, I was there from the start. Loved it.
Did
and
you
now we
get
have
to play,
CS2, which sucks.
Yeah, the movement in CS2 and the cheating are kind of glaring issues.
Fuck
but
you, Valve. Sorry.
It's fine. Get your licks in. Dude, COD 4, did you play that?
I never got the opportunity because one of my friends, Felu, he's still in my streams these days. Yeah, I know.
He
played COD 4 and Modern Warfare 2. And when I would go visit him, I would watch him play. And I would play a little bit. To me, I could not play because those people were just better. And so I would like play a little bit, but I never got to play it. I did, however, play Modern Warfare 2 offline with Pez bots. For any of you that might remember that, that was the bot thing. Yeah, Pez bots. I played that, but again, never played it online. Unfortunately, I wish I did. I really, really wish I did. But again, 1 gig of data a month would not have lasted with COD and World of Warcraft at the same time.
So what you're saying is, I need to build a time machine that can take you back to when we only played COD 4 at Liberty LAN, where we had 500 dudes on every month, all playing COD 4. There was at least 100 people in servers at any point in the LAN. And you could just start up a server, and within 5 minutes, there's 24 people on the server, dude. And it's just chaos. Sounds awesome. Like, it was fantastic.
I had OC LAN, so we had OC LAN in Cape Town, the Belleville Velodrome. I went there probably 9 times. Best experiences of my life. Absolutely loved it. 1,200 people in one area.
OC is a big one.
So I only went during the school holidays. So when I went for like June holiday, which was always the big one, and then December was like the big one. But every time I went, there was 1,000 plus people. I did play a bit of COD there, though. I will say that I played a bit of COD there, but people mostly played pro mod.
Yes.
And I skill issue, literally. I couldn't quite get pro mod. Like, I wasn't very good at it. I genuinely wasn't very good at the whole movement. And if I think about it now, like, if I just put in a little bit of effort, I could have learned probably.
Yeah.
So I did play a little bit of COD there, but I honestly enjoyed the CS a little bit more. So I used to play quite a bit of CS at the OC lands mostly. And Modern Warfare 2. When they got the Modern Warfare 2 offline patch, then I played a lot of that. I will say that.
You'll love this about, there was 2 local lands here. Mayhem was about 250 to 300. And then Liberty Land was always the much bigger one. And we started going, dude, when I was like 14, 15. So what year were you born?
95.
95. Okay, so you're 6 years younger than me. So you would have been about 9-ish kind of time.
Yeah.
Like, think about where you were when you were 9 vibes, and we were.
Yeah.
The thing that was funny was Mayhem had a split section for smoking and non-smoking, but it was in the same flippin' hall. So there's just people with Hubblies with a cloud over them on the one side, and then like the hole on the other side. But it's open, and if you opened up the doors, it would just waft the smoke.
Suck it. Yep.
So it was like an all smoking land, effectively, is what it became as soon as it got hot.
That's awesome.
And then Liberty, for some reason, we had guys with sleeping styles where they would sleep on their keyboards, or like you would hear them snoring across the hall. And eventually I started taking videos of like sleeping styles, and we started to make little videos. I wish I could find them because they were like, dude, they were tops.
That's memories, right?
Like, I mean, you experienced proper laning, like 1,200 people is like,
it's a lot of people.
It's a lot of people.
My wallet got stolen. I had the full experience.
Oh damn, your wallet got stolen. Okay, I never had anything stolen. I was
dumb. I was dumb.
Before
the OC starts, like the day of it starts, there's one point where they do. It's not a road call, but it's like a gaming road call thing where they just bring everyone and they just like explain the rules and just tell everyone, hey, don't be a just enjoy this. And I left my wallet on my keyboard. The dumbass I am. And then I'm guessing someone walked by and just. I'm very happy for that guy. I hope he enjoys 100 rand. But yeah, my wallet got stolen. So
dude,
I only had 100 rand for the weekend. I was going to survive on 100 rand for that weekend, and you could have back then. So
easily.
Good times.
You could raid a petrol station with $100 back in those days, quite comfortably.
Hell yeah.
So,
and speaking about the sleeping styles, my first OC, I did not sleep. I went to school the Friday morning. I got on the bus at 6 a.m. I went to school. After school, straight to Cape Town. Because no, I'm lying. After school, straight to my house. Grabbed my PC, straight to Cape Town, played straight through till Sunday morning, 11 a.m. when we drove back. And I slept in the car for the first time.
Dude,
I don't know how I did that. If
Being
I think
young,
about it, and I'm like,
we were stupid.
There's no way. I don't know how it was functioning. But I did it. And I guess that's also LAN experience, like no sleep. But then I realized the LANs after that, I remember sleep. But I also did the whole arm on the table, on the keyboard. Like you have to, like, there's no comfortable sleeping at a LAN. It's just, unless you had a stretcher, because then you were cool. Cool.
So then you come out of this and one day you go, I should put my face on the internet while I play games. And so when did you actually start streaming? When was your like very first stream?
2017. I think it's either the 26th or the 27th of October. That's just after Fiber got installed, and at that point I've been watching Twitch since 2013. And then one day I was like, that's when the PUBG craze was, when PUBG was the game, when everyone was waiting for Shroud to go live, just to watch some PUBG. And then I was like, one day, like, you know what, dude, I'm gonna stream today. And I did that. I started streaming. I streamed a lot of PUBG. I loved it. In 2017, I never took it serious because I would be very, very inconsistent because of my work. Because as I said earlier, 2 hours there, 2 hours back. So I'd get home and I'd just be exhausted. So some days I would stream. Weekends when I had off, because I worked 7 days a week. If I did have off, I would stream a little bit more. And then it kind of just went from there. It was like here and there. There was points where I was like, okay, cool. I'm going to put an effort into streaming a little bit more from now on. In like 2018, and that was like going to be my big goal, to do a little bit more consistent streaming or whatever. But it was never my main priority because of work. It never was. When I got the new job, which is very close to my house, literally 5 minutes away, I was like, cool. I have a little bit more time now.
Well, 4 hours extra a day.
Like, I'm gonna. I don't have to get up at 3:30 a.m. to drive to work. Let me go and play some games. So then I started streaming a lot more consistently, where it would be a almost everyday type of thing. And with that, obviously some growth happens, and then obviously COVID hit. And I decided at the start of 2020, before COVID, I was like, cool, I'm gonna see what I can do this year. I wanna stream a lot more. And I did that. I was live when God bless his soul, Mr. Ramaphosa made the announcement. I watched it on stream, and he said everyone stay home for 2 weeks. And I remember everyone being like so amped.
2 weeks at home. 2 years later.
Everyone, that's when my stream obviously picked up because everyone was watching Twitch.
Yes.
Everyone was watching
Online went
online games.
crazy, dude. Like,
Online just started growing, and my stream started growing. I went from averaging 5 to 7 viewers to averaging 20, which was a lot for me because I didn't have that. I would peak at like 50, 60 viewers, and then with that, I got into the Logitech program. I then eventually became a Logitech partner, and things kind of just went from there. And then my previous company, I will say this because I don't care, they royally fucked me over after working there for 3 years. They were the first to say that they won't change when COVID happens, and then they did. And I just decided, because stream was doing good, it was doing good, and I was like, I can survive on this. I can. But I told myself that I'll just make sure I save a bit of money first. So for like 6 months, I put as much money as I could away. And then I told myself, like, if I ever need to, I'm just gonna say to hell with this job and go full time for a bit. And then something happened that December. It doesn't really matter to the story, so I'm not gonna bring it up. But something happened at work, and I just decided, no, I'm done. Like, I'm not
this is
dealing
the
with this
last
anymore.
straw.
It's the last
Get
straw for
up.
me. Um, I sent my recognition, or my recognition.
You-
I sent my resignation on the 2nd of January at 2 a.m. because my sleeping schedule was so fricked from the whole December holidays type of thing. And yeah, the 2nd of February is when I went full time. Or it wasn't the 2nd, it was like the 9th of February or something, when I went full time with streaming. And yeah, it's been 3 years now. A lot of ups, a lot of downs. Um, very, very, very fluctuating thing always, especially because I don't have thousands of viewers. I don't even have hundreds of viewers. So I'm literally live and still able to do this because of generosity of a lot of people. And if it isn't for them, then I wouldn't be able to do this. So yeah,
Hashtag
and
M1
that's
grand, bro.
how. Yeah, everyone grand my goat got it on my arm right there. Um,
That's
that
a
is
cool one as
literally,
well, because every time you pull it
yeah,
up, I hear the ting of the thing coming out
yeah,
as well, which is great.
yeah.
So
One of those
it's a nice
dumb
little
subathon ideas.
ting. There it goes again.
Subathon ideas, but we love them. And that's how streaming. The reason I started streaming, just to add to this, in
Mm,
2014. So I started watching Twitch in 2013 when it was still Justin TV, but I never made an account because you didn't need an account back then.
mm.
Only if you wanted to chat. So I used to just watch people not logged in, and you could do it back then. Back then you could. You didn't get like pop-ups or whatever. And I was watching a YouTube video by a guy called Soda Poppin, who is still streaming to this day, very very big streamer, and he made a World of Warcraft video. And I remember watching the video like, damn, this is so cool. Like, he's recording, but he keeps talking to someone. And I don't understand who, and I couldn't really understand it. And I looked at the description, and it just says Twitch click, or Twitch link, and then YouTube link, and then Twitter link. And I was like, what the hell is this? And I clicked on clicked on it, and he was live. And he was live, and I was like, holy shit. And I was like, I want to do this. That day, I told myself, I want to do this. I never thought I would be able to, but I remember watching him stream, and I was like, I want to do this so bad. And that is how my idea for wanting to stream started, pretty much.
Okay. Now, this is I mentioned to you before we started this. There was something that you said that, and this is the point that I'd like to bring it up in. It was something that I think is a reality, almost like a, I want to say kind of harsh or cruel, but it's just the reality of the place we find ourselves in, especially in South Africa. Is you kind of sarcastically said, like, people were talking about doing workshops and all of that sort of stuff, and you're like, yeah, and we're all gonna make it one day, right? And I was just like, that's kind of the reality, is that there's just not enough space. I mean, you need to leave space for people to shine. So, like, I think one of the guys that, I don't know if you know about him, Dunkstar. Do you know about Dunkstar?
I do know Dunkstar. Very, very awesome dude. Had a few conversations with him. Very,
And
very
he's
nice
a
dude.
massive streamer.
Huge.
And he's
like 1,000 viewers,
dude,
minimum.
and completely disconnected from the South African community.
And
I'm
you said it.
I'm sitting there like, dude, I didn't know about him. I'm not even kidding, for probably 2 years of starting Turbo Tortoise Tech, which is now like 7 years ago, by the way. In August, it'll be 7 years. Can you believe it? Of doing this sort of stuff. So, yeah, I was also, and I just sat there and I was like, you know what, though? We got to kind of be realistic about it with ourselves. Not everybody is going to make it. That was the point that you were making. And I think propping people up that unfortunately don't have talent for the kind of space is cruel. because you're saying to this person, go and work at it. You'll make it. Just keep grinding. Just keep burning your life at both ends of the candle, where you might not have a strength for that sort of kind of environment, right? And it's a fool's errand. I think you'll agree with that.
It's very taxing as well on you as a human.
Because your audience is very demanding, especially with streaming. Why do you think I chose to do YouTuber instead? And I have no desire to be famous. Absolutely zero. It's not about self-promotion. It was about helping people in the community, sharing my knowledge so that window lickers in your chat don't make you buy bad CPUs.
I'll chat. Get rolled. Get rolled.
Kind of thing. But which leads me into a question, which is, what do you think is the worst thing about the gaming community? Having been full-time in it for 3 years, having been, on the fringe with mates who play CS and are in pro teams, and you've had I would say a lot of experience now, compared to someone that's just starting up streaming.
Yeah, I got some exposure as well throughout those people.
Yeah, definitely. What is the worst thing that goes on, you think, in general?
I think you just mentioning about telling people that they're going to make it. I hate to say this, but Zassy, the GOAT, said something the other day, all right? And it had nothing to do with streaming, but it made me think about streaming. He said it all started going wrong when we started giving everyone participation trophies. And what I think with that within the local streaming scene, in my opinion, and if you don't agree with me, I want to say politely, fuck you, because I don't care what you think.
He does. It's not like that. He does, but it's your opinion is wrong, basically. But carry on.
Yeah, I'm right, you're wrong, deal with it. That's how I am. Participation trophies is something that we hand out in this scene a lot. And you used a great example of someone. Dunkstar. What did Dunkstar do? Dunkstar did his thing, and he I'm not going to say he removed himself from the local community, because I do not know if that's what he did. I don't know if that's what he did. In my mind, I'm like, he definitely removed himself from the local community, and now look at him. Because here's what happens. Wookie retweets a tweet. Guys, Jason 27 just went live. He's a new streamer. You guys should go watch him. This guy he's great. Now, Wookie's 5 followers goes and watches Jason. Jason gets affiliate. Jason is the next big thing, guys. He's the next big thing.
You mean Tortoise, though? You mean Tortoise?
Tortoise, my goat. God, I love that guy.
We're going to talk about
him after this. A week later,
yeah,
Susan 27 just went live. Oh, guys, Susan just started streaming. You guys should go watch her. She is the best. And then what happens? The viewers gets recycled in the communities over and over and over. There is no growth. There's no growth. Because I'm watching, and I will use them as example because I don't know they won't care. I'm watching Slimy Moose. Okay? Slimy Moose playing Valorant. I go live. Slimy Moose's chat now moved to my chat. They're still there, but they're also watching me. Kylo goes live. Okay. Now everyone goes watch Kylo. All 3 of us sitting at, I'm going to use an example. We're all sitting at 20 viewers. Okay. Out of those 20, 15 of those people are in Slimy chat, my chat, Kylo's chat. Someone else goes live. The 15 or the 20 that we have now has now split into 4 streamers, because we are so stuck, and it's my fault as well. Trust me, I know it's my fault as well. We're so stuck in this local mindset of like, we are enough. We can do this on our own, which is absolute. Because the moment you focus on only the local scene is when you are going to stagnate. You are going to stagnate because there's only so much South Africans. Yes. There's only so much South African viewers, because not every South African viewer watches Twitch. Not everyone in South Africa watches Twitch, whereas supposed you go to look at America or Europe. That's a lot more people. That's why if you branch out to those audiences, things go better. Another person we can use is a great example. And she told me this. She said she stopped streaming saturated games, which is something that I should try to do, but I haven't. Hello, Zassy. She stopped playing saturated games. Zassy is here. Okay. She stopped playing saturated games, but also she stopped focusing on just local, in the sense of like, guys, I'm a South African streamer that just went live. Check the South African tag, like she just did her own thing. And now I'm pretty sure majority of her viewership is from overseas. Don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with South African viewers. We love South African viewers because they all they share our humor. They laugh at the same things we laugh at, things like that. We all like the sapphire humor that we all have because we can have the word, like we can have stage 6 load shedding and then joke about it because that's just how we are.
Yeah.
Right. So you love those. But the problem is we get so caught up in this little circle of ours. This I'm gonna call it a circle jerk because that's what it is. We're in this circle jerk of people like sharing viewers, not because we want to, but that's what we've kind of grown to know. And we get stuck. We literally get stuck in the same triage of people, like going from this person to this person because Henrico ended a stream, he raids Slimy ends a stream, she raids Kylo ends a stream, he raids Jason ends the stream, and it's the same people just being recycled. So there's not really growth, or there's no growth in the sense of like no one else is coming in. Yeah, you get new followers. Followers don't mean like it doesn't mean anything. I have almost 7,000 followers on Twitch, and I am lucky if I peak at 50 viewers these days. Followers mean nothing because we just recycle the same people. And while it is great, some people want that. Some people want super small communities. They don't care that they have 10 views. Sorry. They don't care that they have 10 viewers because that means they have the little community. But for people who want to branch out, if you branch out, you need to put yourself out there everywhere and not just locally. And that's something that I'm struggling with as well. Trust me, I hated the term South African streamer because I didn't want to be a South African streamer. I wanted to be a streamer, period.
Yes.
And getting out of that mindset of just being stuck in the whole local scene because, dude, we can say whatever we want. Twitter drama, cloud chasing aside, there really is only so much opportunities locally for the streamer that wants to be purely himself. Because if you're family friendly, you are at the top of that list of getting maybe a sponsor or whatever. Because I've had these conversations with partners before and they said, yo, listen, unfortunately, you swear a little bit too much. You say a little bit too much things that we don't agree with, so we're not going to go forward with you. Great. That is fine. I completely understand that. But if you're not family friendly, for sponsors at least, you're going to get pushed down. And that's not even to say about the fact that the opportunity that the sponsors give you. I'm going to call it out because, again, I don't care. I'm 99% sure if you're from South Africa and you follow a South African streamer or certain South African streamers or content creators, you've probably seen all these Samsung ads that they are retweeting every single day. You get another ad of like the Samsung S24 does this and the super camera, whatever. So I was like quite interested in I'm like, damn, this must be a really big sponsor. And then I found out they got paid 2,400 Rand for 6 months and they're all in a WhatsApp group, right? And then every day the Samsung rep would send a message and all of them had to copy and paste and tweet exactly that. For 2,400 Rand for 6 months. Like somewhere...
$200 a month, bro. It's like...
Somewhere someone must be thinking either taking us for complete cut or we are just that desperate, which is completely fine. Like money is money. I get it. Money is money. But somewhere someone must have been like, dude, this is a great idea.
Feed yourself for a week on 400 Rand, bro. See what you're eating. 2-minute noodles is on the list, dude. I mean, come on.
I wish. Dude, you can't even get Maggie, dude. You're going to have to get like house brand or something if you want to eat proper 2-minute noodles.
What do you mean? I'm going to get the mega packed wooden boxes from the China Mart, bro. They're like 50 cents each. Yeah, it's in the cup noodle. You just put the hot water and you're good to go.
And you're good.
Yeah.
No, I haven't had noodles in a while, I'll be honest. So circling to it all and like getting back to in my opinion, South African streaming is very sheltered, or South African media is very sheltered because we all want to try and stay here. And we do not, let anyone have their moment. Because I'm pretty sure you've noticed, I think anyone has noticed, the moment someone is doing well, someone else is saying something bad about that person. If I am here and I'm saying, guys, I won this pair of glasses. I won this. 50% of the people will be like, damn, congrats. But then the other 50% be like, oh, dude, he just won it because he's that. He only won it because he's that. Or people will start hating on this person for winning those glasses for no specific reason. We don't let anyone just have good shit.
Yeah.
For some reason, that is so embroidered in our minds. I've only seen it in South African streamers. Maybe it happens everywhere. I don't know.
That's from the esports environment, dude. I'll tell you exactly where it comes from.
And it sucks. Why can't we just let her have a good thing?
Because it
If
was
bro
always
won,
a case.
hog.
Yeah, but it's always been a case of for me to win, you somehow have to also fail. That's what the ethos came from. Okay. And I've seen it even with like some of the, like, if I told you, I won't name names, but a very sweet, soft-hearted streamer got a GPU, like a big kind of sponsor, and that person wasn't keeping it, but they got given it to use on their stream, like, and it's like a really nice part to just be like, here, use this on loan. It was like a top end, like really nice part, and they're like, and this person had really good views and social media on fire and all of the rest of it, and first comment is, you don't deserve that kind of vibe. And I'm just like, brother, I understand your jealousy is palpable. You want to be in that same position, but you haven't even started down the path. Never mind been streaming for consistently every day for 3 years, and built your an actually kind of large number community. I mean, the person in question probably has, I would say, 18,000-ish across all of their social media. So like a really decent, especially for South Africa, right? Like
locally, yeah, 100%.
I mean, that's pretty power. And that's the first comment. And it's a case of like, yes, but the scales for what's big in South Africa is very different from like an overseas perspective. So as an example, doing content specifically on YouTube for South Africans was to my advantage because I knew that the brands have to keep their marketing local. So if I can show audience retention from South Africa as my primary, they're going to be interested in investing in me because it goes to what they're trying to market to, and who they're trying to sell to and stuff. So and being a tech reviewer, I've got a nice kind of thing where I don't have to, I can actually use before I get sponsored even, and I can say, okay, let me try this component. Okay, I like it. It's going to be good for what I need to use it for. Let's standardize on that. It big advantages in all of those kind of areas, right? But yeah, it's just, we're not allowed to shine together. And for me, it boils down to, this has been the burning question that I'm basically asking on every single one of these is, don't you feel like this whole thing boils down to identity politics?
I mean, okay, let me ask you this. What do you mean by identity politics in your, because to me it's something different maybe to what you what do you refer to it as identity politics?
So
maybe I'm just stupid, which is completely true.
So like, let's say you identify with a right-wing conservative kind of approach or ideology, then the people that are naturally liberal, sort of left, are automatically against you and everything you do, just because of an ideological sort of standpoint.
Maybe I'm stupid, which is again completely true, but like political, in my opinion, like the whole politics thing, I do think we have locally, especially, a big problem with, what should we call it? Clicks. We'll call it clicks. We have clicks. We have a lot of clicks within content creation, streaming, TikTok, all those things. There's all these clicks. And for some reason, for those clicks to combine is just not an option. It's just not an option. We don't allow new people. You either need to know someone in that click already, or you can just pretty much forget it. And for some reason, everyone tries to kind of work against each other, or we try to bring individuals down in a sense where, let's say I post a photo of a cookie and I love this cookie wookie. This is my cookie. But then everyone from the other clique, for example, would then talk about said cookie and start posting about it or tweeting about it, subtweeting about it. And then some people would engage with it and tell you that it's a pretty cookie, but you like your cookie. We do not, I think it comes back to my previous point of like, we do not let people have good things. So from a political standpoint, because I don't quite understand politics, I can see your point.
No, you've summed it up.
I see your point.
Yeah. That's what I mean. It's like identify with this belief and this viewpoint, and so you
you're
all
good.
identify, and then but
Yeah.
you don't. You don't think the
Exactly.
way I
That's
do,
where
and so get
that's for
out.
me where the clicks thing come
Yeah,
in.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
for me where the clicks
Yeah.
because Group A only believes in using Logitech products, and then Group B only believes in using
Steel series.
Elgato. Still serious, whatever.
Yeah.
So now people who don't like Logitech, you cannot. We don't like you. Like Jenny, it's literally that we don't like you. So we're not gonna give you any attention. We're always gonna talk bad about you. When you get something good or when something good happens in your life, we're gonna make sure that you know that we hate you. And then vice versa. Steel Series gets something good. Um, now Logitech is like, no, these guys, we don't like them. They use Steel Series, like we'll talk bad about them.
Hmm.
So for me, like again, with what you said about the beliefs type of thing, I think it's whatever clique they affiliate themselves with locally, South African at least, they seem to hold on to that and just can't let go and try to explore other people, either ideologies, other ideas, either other thoughts. Because I'm the type of person, listen, if you're a big guy, you have one good thing going for you, and that's you're always the funny one. That is literally what fat people are. We're the funny ones, usually. So
Yeah,
I
you like South
tried from a
African Jack
young
Black.
age, basically,
Yeah.
what I did
And
from
you can
young,
actually
from
sing,
school
and you should
days.
do it more. I'm just saying.
I do like singing.
Yeah.
What I did is I always tried to be a bit of a people pleaser in the sense of I like to be friends with everyone. When I say friends, I don't mean like literal friends. I just want to be friendly with everyone. I don't care if you have a one viewer or if you have 50. I don't care. I treat everyone equally. And I tried to kind of enforce that on people that I surround myself with, at least, where if I have a scenario where someone tells me like, yo, I don't really like this guy, so I'm not. Then I tell them, why? Shut the fuck up. Just come try it. Just come talk to him. He's not that bad, Unless there's underlying issues. I'm not going to mention names. Raging Savage, the goat. If you don't want to make sure you want to interact with that guy, that's completely different because he did something really bad, so that's why people hate him. Or if someone said something really and people don't like, that's fine. But like, why can't we all just be like a little bunch of homies, dude? Like, we don't have to love each other. Like, we don't have to be best friends that spend every night in Discord or every stream together. But why not just be happy for? Why can't we just grow as a community as a whole, as opposed to everyone must do their own little individual thing?
So this is a new
And
thing,
it's
by the way.
also gatekeeping with sponsors. Sorry, just one thing. Gatekeeping with
Yes.
sponsors. Why? Why? Like if a sponsor reaches out to you like, yo, listen, we're going to sign you. Great. You're literally in. You've literally got the sponsor. They're now asking you for someone else. Okay? Yes. Don't tell me people don't do this. Obviously, you're going to recommend your homies first. They're gonna, because that's how you are. You have friends, you have people who you know who also might need it. You recommend them. Great. But now the sponsor's like, yo, we need more people. And then you're kind of like, I don't know anyone. Go look at Yuan 27 or Susan 24. They've maybe never had a sponsor. Like, recommend them. The marketing team will hopefully go do their diligence and go check if this person is fit for the cut. We don't have to gatekeep sponsors. Like, you don't have to do that. You already have the sponsor. Like, if you get the sponsor and someone else is also getting sponsored, you're not going to get less out of the deal. You're just giving more people the opportunity.
Yeah, and you know what the thing is, like I actually don't recommend like mates if I know they're unreliable, because it's going to be a reflection on me as well. And then the supplier though is going to look at me and go, why did you recommend this clown? Like, or this idiot, or this person that's not really sponsorable. That is a kind of a different ruling. But yeah, of course you're gonna when you feel like you can trust someone that's in an affiliated sort of position, that would be probably your first foot forward, which is a fair comment to make. So did you, leading into my next question, when you got your first Henrico wallets hit piece, did you feel like you had made it?
What a good day. What a good day. I'll be honest. I remember that day very vividly. I remember I saw the message in chat, but I didn't mean to ignore it. I was playing Valorant at the point, so I was kind of like focused on the game, and I saw the message, and I was like, I'm just gonna ignore that. In the sense of like, maybe I shouldn't give attention to that. But then I wanted to go back to it because I was like, no, I'm actually kind of curious. But then luckily, this guy, bless his soul, he said again, he's like, yo, dude, this guy dropped the video on you. And I instantly, I didn't even think I finished the game. I was like, ready? Link right now. I will be honest. I said this on stream as well. Like, the first moment I clicked, my heart kind of it beat a bit because I was like, what if I did something wrong? Because at this point, your mind is like,
You're
what did I
doubting
do?
yourself.
What
Yeah.
did I say? Did I say something I can't remember? And I was like, whatever. Let it just happen. To this day, I think that was the most viewers I've ever gotten organically from purely reacting to drama.
Yeah.
Did it feel like I made it moment? No. It did feel, however, like a moment where I was lucky enough to have people giving me the benefit of the doubt to hear me out. And having a very, very supportive community, because I never went and told my community to go and do this, go do that, go on this guy, go watch the video. I never did that. Never. I watched it on stream. I had a moving chat that I couldn't even read as how fast it was moving. I reacted to the video. I watched it. I laughed in his face. And I just pulled out the facts. And I remember I literally showed my income on the stream and everything, so people could understand what is actually going on, right? Because this guy had a very misinterpretation of what the actual scenario was. So did I feel like I made it? Okay, I said no, but yes, kind of, because you're like I said, I'm lucky enough in that position to have a community that will kind of hear me out. Whereas most people will just be like, "Oh, you're cancelled, done, goodbye." Whereas I'm one of those people that everyone knows that I just don't care what people think or say to a degree. So I honestly I farmed it. I thought this is a great moment to farm some good drama. And well, you can call it drama or whatever it is, but that was the spice of the day, like someone spoke about another streamer and now everyone wants to know what's going on. So what better way than to doing it live and getting the immediate reaction, because I didn't watch it and then go watch it afterward. This was during a subathon. So I was live constantly. So I watched it the first time on stream and I reacted to it the first time on stream. I gave my actual thoughts and my ideas on stream at the same point. And it was a great day. Funny enough, I think I made more money that day than I made the before the stuff that happened, which caused the video, which was like a big donation, because people were obviously just flooding in to kind of spite this guy, to like, donate to me more and just be like, oh, you're just my wallet. Here you go, dude. He has like $100, so here's like $50, whatever.
Yeah. I
So
actually remember that happening.
good
I
day.
think I threw
That
in
was
five
good.
even.
Yeah. A lot of
Yeah.
people donated.
Yeah.
A lot of people told me like, dude, I've never donated to anyone on Twitch in my life, but here you go. Here you go. Good day. It was a good day. It was a
That's
good day.
fantastic.
And it birthed something in my chat, which is the wallets thing. It birthed something, and these aren't things that I try to enforce or anything. It's something that I like about my community, and I think other people probably have this community type of community as well. I didn't enforce it. They did it. They
Yes.
started doing it.
Yes.
And then they carried the torch. And now people that have not even followed me, but they didn't even know about me in 2022 or whatever that was. They didn't even know about me, but now they're also like, yo, wallets, like that. They're
Yes.
also the same. Same with our good friend Dalweezy, I
So
was,
okay. Let's
okay.
start this with a little bit of context for you, because I think I told you
Yeah,
this before. We actually went to school together. We were in the same
good,
grade, in the same class, a lot of the
good
classes.
Dalweezy.
Yeah,
He's that
until
old?
we split. We exactly the same age, both 89, all of that sort of stuff. So he went into full-time music after school because he was already playing bass and stuff in school, and that was his dream. And he actually became a session musician, and then COVID hit and no more
Things
stage
kind of slow
events and
down.
that sort of stuff. So he decided to do some streaming. I helped him get his like PC up to scratch so that it could run the streams a lot better. Like we had to buy him a new motherboard, processor, and RAM, and he had a graphics card that was good enough to play the games. But okay, so the thing with Dario is he's always been like this when it comes to like, no, I'm gonna do the weird thing. Even when we would play Dota, he would be like, I'm gonna do this weird build that some guy did in a pro game one time like 3 years ago that was specific for that niche, and now he's like, no, this is actually brilliant, I'm gonna do it every time. And it just kind of doesn't work out. And I think he was frustrated with a lot of things, and he saw people throwing money at you and being in a kind of financial hole himself. I think but this is also a Dario thing, that he just kind of flies off the panhandle, because he had spoken to me about you and I was like, you don't understand Henrico. He's actually subtly brilliant. What he's doing is, and like how he's being backhanded with people, that is the charm. And once you understand it, it's brilliant. It's like this dry British wit in a way where you just kind of like slapping around with the chat, but you take it as well. And like when, especially like with like Dragon Void as an example, or like a Nocturnal or someone like that, that really, and Nock is professional. He can even get under my skin. Byron and I are actual
So
friends.
dry, man.
We can hang out and stuff, and he will still get under. Dude, when I'm doing the Eve to Extreme and that rolls up, I'm just like, okay, this was a
Here we
good
go.
day, and now Knock is here, and
That's
then
ruined.
I force him to come into Discord. So if he tries to talk, I can like immediately slam him and just be like,
Doesn't have to be a chat thing.
I'm the quick one here. My tongue is sharper and faster than yours. Sit down in your corner, kind of vibe. But that's I think that's why those of us that get you, we really appreciate. I'd say for me, your biggest strength is your, and the thing that I love about you most is your brutal honesty. Because I would rather deal with someone that tells me stuff you to my face than and like a snake in the grass kind of vibe. It's like, I don't have to guess what you're thinking. You're just gonna tell me, and then we can move on. And then I know where the goalposts are, and then you can deal with that. I much prefer to deal with someone like that in general rather than the other way around. And I think you're not worried to be like, I don't know what this is. I don't want to flip this flippant. Just tell me. Like I have no fucking clue, like what this is, kind of thing. And it's a good thing. It's like, I would say, like I say, it's the thing I love about you the most, and watching you and stuff. And it's why I come through every day, and I got to poke a little bit at the Henny and see what he's doing, and hit him with the Henrik 7. Like, no, you still got the best. You still got the best salute. You saw on the 1 year, I used it like 1,000 something times. It was like 3 times a day.
I see you salute on everyone's streams.
Dude,
So
I love that one so much because it's so Kim Jong-un, like tuning at the same time. It's like, that's the perfect emote, in my opinion.
I literally made it a sub emote because of you. I literally remember it used to be only like a emote on my channel, and now it's an emote that you can use everywhere. Dude, I literally made an emote just because of you.
I literally, and sometimes when I send it to you, I literally sit on the other side like this. And I like over the top it and stuff. I'm like, good morning, Henny. And like, especially with Josh, because the love I have for him is like, I
love Josh.
Is like,
what a good guy.
I know he's out of this whole community, I would say he's the most unpolished gem. And I think we can all agree that one day he should be at the head of like a VS Gaming or an ACGL.
Absolutely.
Like,
absolutely.
That's where he's
between
going,
him, Noob Slice, Green Soup, Arthur, all those guys, like Jason as well. Like the whole, I call them the admin crew, Cypher guy. They are like genuinely to me, they're so hardworking, and they really put in so much effort for people to be happy, but they also don't take shit in the sense of where if someone says something on Twitter or wherever that is full on wrong with regards to a tournament that they're a part of, or even not even a tournament that they are part of, they will make sure that they are corrected, and they will always have receipts and all that. And Josh is just one of those people that he is the most non-biased person that I know. Like if I wasn't with you, for example, and I said something controversial towards you, Wookie, or whatever the fuck, Josh would be the person that would literally, if he was told to make a choice here, he wouldn't, and he would literally put out the facts on paper of why I'm wrong, why Wookie's wrong, and here's the conclusion. And that's just how Josh is. And I think that's why I respect him so much, because he's never been the type of person to pick sides because of the fact that, oh, this guy's on the other side and I need to keep a good book with him. He doesn't care about stuff like that. I don't think he could not care less who someone is. If they're wrong, he will tell them they're wrong, and he will show them why they're wrong. And even when the opportunity arises where he might be wrong, he'll be like, oh, thank you for teaching me, helping me. I understand now. I was wrong. Let's move on with our lives.
He's so laid back about it, which is exactly the right approach. And that's why, like, even he had done, before I worked with him on Eve Sports, he had literally done, like, I think maybe 2 weekends for VS Gaming before that. He was like
very, very
basically untested kind of thing. But I was just like, dude, every time I spoke to him, and I was just like, there's just something about this kid. Like, he just gets it.
He's ginger, dude. That's because he's ginger. He just has it. Because he's ginger.
It's because he's tall and he doesn't stand up straight. That's why.
Yeah, actually.
I love to give him grief. You've like you say, I think you've done a really good job of surrounding yourself with a lot of great people. I love Zassy. I cannot tell you how much I flippin'. You see, I come into your chat sometimes. I don't even say hello. I'm like, where's Zassy? Where's my boy? Where's my boy? I think Zassy is like your Jiminy Cricket. He seems to be your kind of conscience. He slaps you.
That's what he is.
No, he slaps you for good things. Okay, like when you're being a bitch, he'll tell you, "Hey, Henrico, just pick yourself up. Stop being a clown." You know, he's good like that. I think for you, he seems to be an amazing friend to have in your life. I'll be very honest.
The best friend. He is not only the best friend, he's the most real person you can get. And he knows he upsets me. He knows he does. But he always tells me, like, listen, I'm not trying to, be unnecessary or whatever. Like, he always tells me, I'm not trying to be unnecessary. Like, you know me. I'm just gonna give it to you straight. And he's very smart as well, which is really annoying because he is really intelligent. Like he's insanely smart. He always tells me that he just knows how to Google, but I think it's bullshit because the amount of intelligence that guy has, it must be the hair because he just knows things.
He's hiding brains underneath the fro, dude, because it's so big.
So much.
Like it's like Mojo Jojo, and that's his helmet, dude. Basically.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, he's literally. One day he'll take it off. He said he'll only cut his hair if he's involved in a crime. So if he ever cuts his hair, guys,
then we know. Because you've just been exposed.
There's no way. I can't even think what he would look like without hair. Like I cannot. Like I've only ever seen even photos of him with hair. Like I've never seen him. Like even his school pictures, he had hair. So I've never seen him where he had a normal. So for context, it's a white dude with an afro. Like that's literally Zassy. He's literally a white dude with an afro. So that'll give you some context as to why we're talking about his hair.
Look, he's not that smart though, because he still bought a 4090. So I mean, it's just
but that's
just take it down a notch. Like
that's just because he has few money and he likes splurging himself. Because I talk to him so much about this, right? Every time someone around him, and this is just again such a character trait of him, which is so beautiful. If someone around him needs something, he will do it open arms, open heart. He'll be logical about it. Like he'll talk to the person, like try and see what they exactly need for, be it his girlfriend, his mother, his friends. He'll help them. But then ever so often he'll get himself something, or want to get himself something, but then he waits for like 6 months because he's like, do I really need it? Yada yada yada. And then I'm like the little devil on his shoulder going like, do it. Because he never gets anything himself. And I remember the 4090 thing because you came into chat quite a bit about it, and he always spoke to you about it, kind of in a way.
Because I just say to him, like, you must understand what kind of purchase this is. It makes no sense on a value proposition.
No, doesn't.
I literally stopped my business partner, who also, he's got a digital marketing agency with like 10 full-time employees, about 5 more subcontractors. He's got an office in Holland. I mean, he's become really successful. And he's kind of like my Zassy in a way. Because he's just always there for me and stuff. And when he came back from Holland, he went over there for 2 years full time, and he was on a really nice Legion 7i Pro Lenovo with a 3080, mobile and everything. And it was a beast of a laptop, but it's not the same. And I know you know this as well. It's not the same as having like a full fat desktop. And when he came back, he was going to buy more like super high-end Lenovo's, like 75,000 Rand laptop, because the high-end Lenovo's I think are the best laptops. And I said to him, dude, they're going to be here and you're going to be here, let's just do full-fledged desktops, but you're going 4080
Get
Super.
A PC.
And that's it. And I said, you're not buying more than 4080 Super. And we pulled them off for, actually, like, if I told you how much, you'd be like, how? Obviously, Uncle Eve Tech helped at that time with, some significant discount and stuff. But we basically spent a little bit more than buying one of the laptops. And he's, to this day, he is just like, this was the best decision kind of thing.
Best ever.
And he's got 34-inch ultra-wide Alienware OLEDs as well. So
he really has a banger PC now.
Oh, he has the best.
But he could have gone for a laptop.
Pretty much the best gaming experience you could hope to have on the side of eternity, as it were. And yeah, I was like, Zassy, I just don't want to see you waste your money. Like, it hurts me because I was raised by Chinese people, okay? And if you buy anything that's not on sale, they will disown you. like
They'll
on the
get very
spot.
mad.
That's it, dude. On the spot. Do you remember that guy made Alex? He made a joke about Alex, the fake Chinese version of Alexa.
Oh yes, yeah.
That was so culturally perfect. Exactly how my friends' parents would treat me, kind of thing, with stuff. They would just be like, "Oh, new
That's kind of
shoes.
awesome, though.
Did you? How much? How much?" And then I'd be like, $800, and they'd be like, "No, good. I saw on sale 500. Why you do this? Kind of, you waste your money, like kind of thing." And they instilled this like efficiency OCD in me that I can't let go of now. It's just like a part of me, and
It's part of you. It's part of you now. It's part of who you are.
And if people spend money on something that's not good value, even if it's premium, I die a little bit inside. And Zassi took me there because I was like, bro, he's like, I'm gonna use this screen, and it was like way under spec for the 4090, and I'm like, can you not understand? Like,
get a 4080.
Just get a 4080. It's going to be exactly the same. You're going to be at 200 or 300 FPS on 180 hertz. You're never going to see it vibe. But anyway, long story short was, yes, he's still, I think he's a very positive influence on you. And that leads me to
absolutely
the next question, which is, what is your favorite and best thing that's happened during your career? What's the one thing you'll never forget, kind of thing?
Sure. Well, I just want to add one thing about the end of Zassi. So what I wanted to say is the fact that Zassi will always spend money on someone else, but he'll never spend money on himself. So when he got that big piece, I was the one on his shoulder going like, buy it. Don't listen to Wookie. Just get it.
Just get it.
And I think that's why that's where, and it was kind of funny. It was kind of fun watching you two in chat go at each other. Yes. I really enjoyed it. Favorite moment on Twitch, I will absolutely say, is when Andy Sizik came to my stream. So I'm going to keep it super short because I can go on for this forever, and I'm not going to. Andy Sizik is an artist. He is a metal artist, metalcore singer. He sings, and he has been my favorite artist, and he is the reason I'm alive today. Because I really have a strong connection with music, and he just released some music, and it was just. They always say never meet your heroes, and that is the day that I got to meet my hero, and I am so happy that I did. I literally have his name tattooed on me right there. That was the best moment for me because from that day on, I am lucky enough to call him a friend. We talk, I want to say weekly. We just, obviously he lives in America, I live in South Africa. He's constantly touring and making music and new music or whatever. So he's a very busy guy, but he always responds to me. I send him photos of when I'm showing people his music. I always like to take a photo for him. He sends me photos of like when he's on tour or something. So it's something that a lot of people, I think, would never be able to experience, is getting to meet your hero, and not only just them being your hero, but also kind of becoming your friend in a sense. I've done some same as this, like podcast-ish things with him. I've had him go to other friends of mine streams when I teach them about their music or his music, and then I'll DM him on Twitter real quick. I'm like, yo, dude, listen, I'm showing someone your music. This is their Twitch link. I'm saying hello real quick. And then he pops up, and it's always just a highlight for them. Because he's just an amazing artist, and his music is so good, and it speaks to people. Because yes, I know metal is a very controversial one for a lot of people, because a lot of people just don't listen to it. He doesn't do death metal only, or he doesn't only do like, screaming or whatever. He does a great variety of all music. So there's a little bit of everything for everyone. I will say that is my ultimate Twitch highlight. When it comes to like on a personal level, on a financial, business, and Twitch streaming, doing well level, is also getting to meet Papa Anomaly. If anybody knows Anomaly, the CSGO YouTuber, his father, Papa Anomaly, is also a lot in his videos. He actually came to my stream organically. He was browsing the CSGO tag, and this is a guy that has like 5 million subs or whatever. He was browsing the tag, and he just saw, he said he saw my face, and he was like, oh, this guy looks cool, and he clicked. And he said hello, and same with him. Like he raids me all the time. Like we have talks. I've played games with him. So it's really the ultimate highlight for me is meeting people, meeting people that I don't think I would ever have the opportunity to meet at all. Having that, and then lastly, of course, my chat. I am so insane. I'm not going to say just I call them chat, but I mean my community overall. I think I'm so insanely lucky that I have a bunch of people that support me the way that they do. because things aren't always sunshine and rainbows. It just isn't that. Like people tend to look at my stream and then they're like, oh, this guy has 1,000 subs. That must mean he's like a millionaire. When in retrospect, it's I'm very fortunate. I'm very happy. I'm very lucky. Thank you very much for that. But 1,000 subs in South African currency is like 10K. It's literally 10,000 rand, maybe a little bit more, but that's literally what it is.
Because
But then I have people that
Twitch
look
cannibalizes a lot. Yeah.
Twitch likes taking. But I'm fortunate enough and lucky enough to be in that position where people literally, I quite literally, I am an online e-beggar. Like imagine me on the side street of McDonald's. I'm just on Twitch because I literally live off the kindness of other people. So I think the best moment is when I could take that and I could make it my full-time career. Be it as stressful as trust me, it is extremely stressful. If you do not have a solid income, yes, there can be months that are great. They can be the best months of your life, but as much as that high goes, as fast can that low come? Because things will be going great for 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, and then wiped out, gone. So I think that's also a very skewed perception because yes, if I had 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 viewers and I had the opportunities to run ads and stuff, it would be a completely different life for me. I would be living the best life and I would not give a damn about any finances or any worries about any people. But I am not in that position. Am I upset about it? Not upset, more want to get there, hopefully one day, but the only way that's going to happen is with pure through through pure hard work and hopefully getting I hate to say it recognized because I do think that streaming has a big opportunity or a big chance of luck involved with it. But with the full circle to it, the best moments, Andy Sizik, Pop Anomaly. There's one other moment, but unfortunately that is not really one that I can mention anymore. But having the opportunity to have a community that will always be there to kind of like back me up and just make sure that I still keep doing what I'm doing. Because as much as I hate to say it, they're hard on me for good reason. Like you've seen it. My chat can be quite ruthless, but no one has ever been, what is the right way to say this? Unnecessary. No one has been like rude. Not rude. No one has been like mean without context for them to be mean. Like, for example, if I had to complain about the fact that my phone is a white color, sorry, a golden color, there can be someone that can be like, or I'll say my phone's gold, and I'll be like, damn, I wish I had a black phone. And then someone will be like, why are you so stupid? Why didn't you just get a gold one? You know, like that's the type of interaction I have with my community. Or if my chat tells me something, and I'm like, I don't know about that. 99% of people will instantly go, how do you not know about it? You're so stupid. And then I'm like, yeah, I am. That is just how I am because I'm sheltered and I like it that way. And that is the way that I've built my community. We give each other all the time. All the time. I have one rule or one thing in my chat that I tell every single viewer, and I tell them, if my chat gives you you're part of the community. If people are nice to you only, you're not very liked at this moment. It is what it is. It is what it is. You just gotta make
your
sure
mods treat
if
me
you dash out.
your mods treat me well, then I should probably watch my back, bro. Because
no, but you're just as bad as them. Because the thing is, you give and then more people join in on giving. That's like
yes,
the kind
I
of the
start
thing.
a
Like
new
one
thread
person starts.
usually.
It's like Emma. Emma does the same. Emma gives me so much, and then all of a sudden, I will have no one talking in my chat for hours. Then Emma starts yapping for like 3 minutes. Boom. Josh comes out the shadows. Zassy comes out the shadows.
CSN.
7 other locals comes out the shadows. And then everyone's all of a sudden on me. I'm like, hello? Where were you?
Yes.
Where have you been? You know? It's that type of thing. And I'm very fortunate to have people like that genuinely, I feel genuinely care. People that reach out, send me messages and ask if I'm doing okay. I'm a very, very, very lucky guy. Very, very, very
I
lucky.
love your
Do I want to
mods.
do more?
I love your
Absolutely.
mods. I gotta say, and
Yeah, they're good.
especially with the Henrik, when the Henrik 7 goes off, dude, I love it so much, Henny. I cannot tell, dude. It's the best emote because it's a greeting that it shows like a respect. Okay, in a formal salute. My family's very military background. My grandfather lived and died in the military. He was a lieutenant colonel. It's one step
Oh,
below general. Okay, in the South African military,
yep.
that was his whole life. My dad was the lieutenant second class for nearly 12 years. He was an instrument mechanic straight out of high school. My dad's like this. My dad's so nonchalant. One day I'm busy talking to him about War Thunder, and we bought jets and we're really enjoying it and stuff. And he's like, "Oh yeah, I used to fix the instruments on the Mirages." And I'm like, "What? What do you mean? The Dorito is the best plane in our battle rating?" Like, dude, like, what are you talking about? Kind of vibe.
So that's a good moment for you, like a good memory for you as well. They can always hold on to that because you can learn so much from people like that.
Yeah, dude. And it's like, but you made the best greeting. I love the face, the like little smug chuffedness of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Where it's like sort of smug
and the goat
in the way that your face is. And then you've got the Kim Jong-un hat on, which just makes it a diss at the same time. So it's like a 3-for-1 special every time I post it. I see all of those things at the same time. Like it's just it's a good
emote. I will say that. And I'm lucky enough to have mods that just make emotes for me. I have never ever commissioned anyone to make emotes for me. And not because I don't want to, because they just make it.
And I want you to know, just make it. On that note, I want you to know how much Emma loves you. Because I took Yajirobe and your picture and I gave it to her and I said, please put Henny's face on it, just so that, because someone made the comment and I saw it and it was very funny. And I was just like, please just put the face. And she would not do it. She would not do it for your benefit. That's how much she loves you. So never, ever, ever second guess her. Emma's a top keeper. Anyway.
She's a good human.
Let's wind down here because we'll yappa for 27
we can talk
years.
A lot. I just realized what the time has passed.
I know. I do have why no anime. That is something that we kind of spoke about on your podcast, but dude, if you look at some of these animes, they're not made for children. There's disembowelment and all kinds of heavy things that happen with a lot of these topics. Just it never got you. You didn't want to become a weeb.
I loved.
You scared of body pillows? Like what?
Maybe the body pillows. I think it might be that. Yeah, because like a body pillow needs to hold me. I can't hold one. I watched Dragon Ball Z like everyone did. I watched Yu-Gi-Oh like everyone did. I think I was just never exposed to it properly, and it just never got to me. I love making fun of people that watch anime, but it's only purely because I know that the frustration it brings, because it's usually always me versus like 17 other people.
Yes,
it's never just me. Like there's never anyone else that goes like anime is cringe. Even the people that I know that are like super tough and like super hard and like big, like just tough guys, even they are always like, dude, anime is amazing. And I'm like, I don't think so. You know, like I love giving people shit for that. I just think I was never exposed to the proper ones. Yeah, I was just never exposed. Now I just like poking fun at it. I genuinely just like poking fun of it. If you enjoy anime, by all means, enjoy it. I've seen some cool photos, wallpapers, profile pictures, especially if you run into someone with an anime profile picture on CS, you know you're going to get rolled. So anime must clearly be good, but it's just never been something that I've found enjoyable.
It's so kind of sad because there's a couple of shows that are, you know, the thing is with the Japanese, I'll just lay this out quickly, is in their history, out of all of the kind of, I would say, nations that have a really, really long history, they have some of the richest art history in the world. They've got about 1.2 millennia out of 2,000 years. They were actually mostly peaceful. So it was like 60% of the time they were just doing art. And as a result of that, they just know how to capture motion and stuff and philosophy and storytelling. They embarrass us Westerners. I've got to be honest. We've got our, we've got our Lord of the Rings and, our Star Wars and our quintessential sort of classics. They have like 50 that are just unbelievably good. I mean, because of Ghost in the Shell, we got The Matrix. Because of, Cowboy Bebop, we got kind of a Han Solo. It was just, there's so much. Okay, I think that may have been timeline-wise, may have actually been the other way around. But you get the point. Is there's just so much good storytelling that I think people shy away from because of the medium. And I just think there's a couple of shows that you would benefit from having watched in your life. I'm just just saying, but it's fine.
Yeah,
We
that's
no
better.
pressure.
The
We
thing
no
is,
pressure.
I rarely
I'll just
watch
put it in your
stuff.
chat. I'll just greet you with that
That's
name
fine.
every
Hit me
day
with
until you
anime.
watch it. I'll just at you on
Hit
Twitter
me with
every
anime.
day until you watch it. You know,
That's
it's
fine.
fine.
That's fine. I will
Easy.
definitely watch it. I'll
No,
definitely
he
watch it.
Henny, dude, this has been.
This was really cool.
It was so
really cool.
much fun to have you on. I love you to bits. I cannot tell you. Never. Sometimes I'm being. It's not your fault. It's often like I'm just dealing with in the periphery, and
That's life.
I think once or twice in the last 4 and whatever years I've been a sub on your channel, I may have turned you into an emotional punching bag once or twice, so my bad for that kind of thing. I don't take it personally. It was never you. If there's a problem, I got your number, bro. You know me. I'll pick up the phone and be like, listen, bitch.
Like, and we've had that. We've had that.
Did we? Over what? Actually, can't remember.
I'm not gonna say it on this. I don't
know. The only thing we kind of haven't covered is Nixa as a just before we go off.
Sure.
Yeah. Just a short one, like joining it. You know, your experience. You know, being in an NGO versus as a solo, kind of.
I absolutely love being in the most hated org locally because that means I get to meme on a lot of people. For anyone who watches this who has a problem with Nixa, I want you to know you have absolutely no idea how much love and passion those two that you guys keep fighting with on Twitter give to the people that want the opportunities and prove it. Dale and Jason, also known as Carney and Butters, they have given people more than most of you have ever wished you could get, be that monetary, emotionally, financially, in any way. They have never, ever, 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 ever said no to a single person that needed something because they wanted to try and make something, be it the Call of Duty guys who qualified for the EWC in Dubai. They literally said, okay, let's go. There was no, because they really wanted to go, and obviously it cost a lot of money to go to Dubai. Nixa literally said, okay, we're taking you. Like, there was no, they do so much for people and have done so much for people. In the process, unfortunately, they have gotten quite screwed over. And I'm not just saying it because I only know their side of the story. I know both sides of the story because I was there to see it. They genuinely actually just want what's best for a lot of people. Are they a little bit what's the right word to say? If they won't be mad at me because they know I just speak from the heart. Are their visions sometimes a little bit skewed about certain subjects? Absolutely. But every time something like that has happened, they have given people the benefit of the doubt and they've tried to do their own research or get their own information about a certain subject. And it is always, if they've made a mistake, they'll be like, my bad, all good, we've learned, move on. They don't hold grudges. They are very, very, very passionate about esports, but they are more passionate about banter. And unfortunately, we are currently in a scenario in gaming, in esports, especially locally, where banter is kind of seen as a bad thing. Where they would do something that is generally just banter and people would take it completely wrong. And they genuinely thrive off the tears of the people that complain about them doing stuff because Nexa just has opened doors for me, for others, and are still doing it for so many people. And yes, if you are someone who, in your opinion, got screwed over by Nexa, make sure that you check that you've done your part as well, because Nexa is not someone that is going to give you if you've done your part. If you've done nothing and you think in your mind that you got screwed over, make sure you check your corners first, because a lot of people like to just throw the name. And it's no secret that Nexa is so controversial and everyone hates Nixa, or they hate the owners of Nixa because of X, Y, and Z. Those guys are genuinely like, they are the most fun people in the world. They will do the dumbest, not for, they won't be there like, yo, record this. They just want to have fun. And Nixa has given me that opportunity from day one. I myself had to also sometimes just remind myself that, yo, listen, these guys are giving you money. They're paying you a salary to do something. Like you gotta do it. And with Nixa doing all their cuts, yes, it sucks losing a lot of homies. It is just what it is. But now they have taken all their focus from having this big group of people and making sure everyone's happy. They have now made sure that I'm going to call it a family, is now happy, and we're all working together to make things better. Obviously, there's always, where there's good, there's bad. Where there's bad, there's good. Could things have gone better for a lot of scenarios? Absolutely. Could it have gotten worse? Absolutely. So, in my opinion, and I am going to stay on this leg forever. Even if Nixa fires me tomorrow, I will still absolutely love Nixa as a whole. And I absolutely adore and appreciate and am so thankful for the opportunities they have given me as not only a streamer, but also as a human being. Because they just don't fall back on what they say, in the sense of, like, if you ask for something, you're gonna get it if you can just prove that you want it enough, if that is a good way. And that is all I can say about Nixa. We have put so much effort into this year so far, trying to make literal cinematic style content where it's not just going up with your phone and recording. Like, we've got a full cinematic camera, we have videographers, we have a person that records everything, we now have mics, which is such a big deal. You don't even think it's a big deal, but just having mics in a YouTube video where there's multiple people makes such a difference. And we all put in so much effort into that first new video we made, where we went to go and experience the worst and the best food in Cape Town. And we were all kind of nervous at how it will do, because the channel only had like so many subscribers or whatever. And then the video did amazing. And then we posted another one. And this one is about cars, something completely different, something that I know nothing of. And it did even better. So what Nixa is doing right now is we are genuinely trying to bring you the best quality content that we can, especially from a local standpoint, South African wise. And that is our focus now, and that will be our focus now. Aside from the esports teams, we still have COD, we still have CS, we still have all that. They are still running full steam ahead. But content-wise, from the content creators, me, Jordy, which are currently the only two content creators for Nixa, we are, what's the right word? We are dedicated. We are so dedicated to bring you guys actual, proper, well-edited, high-quality content. And we're learning as we go. All we just need is people to watch the videos and to give us a chance, I guess. Not that we deserve a chance or we should get a chance, whatever, because I don't think there's any reason
Just
to
try
doubt
it.
it.
You might like it. Just try it. You know, it's
Exactly.
like
that's
a spicy chicken wing.
that's
Just
it.
try it. You never know if you like it.
Just give it a try. Maybe like it, maybe hate it. That is, and that's from the heart. Like, I love those people so much, man. And I know people have had the difference with them, and that's fine. You can't like anyone. You can't like everyone. Everyone can't like you. That is literally, if everyone likes you, you're doing something wrong, because the half of them are lying to you. No, Nixa is definitely, they give opportunity where they can. They really do. I was lucky enough to join them with they invited me. I never asked to join Nixa. We had a quick conversation, you're there, but it was nothing cemented. Dale or Jason never came to me and said, do you want to join? Nothing like that. It kind of just happened. It literally kind of just happened. And it happened, I'm not even lying, it happened over a brandy and a pizza at, what is that mall in Fourways? Monte Casino.
Monty.
It happened
Okay.
at
That's a casino.
Monte Casino.
It's in the
Well,
name.
not at the casino. It was one of the restaurants.
Yes, but it was a casino. It's in the name, Henrico.
Maybe it was a gamble to go there. Okay. It happened over a brandy and a pizza, and I was in Nixa, and I do not look back at all.
I have to say, credit where it's due. Putting little Geordie next to you is one of the best contrasts you could have hoped to make. Like, I think that was a genius stroke in a lot of senses.
I think so too.
I gotta be real.
I love when I watch the videos, you like always see, like, when she says a sentence, it's just pure sentence. With me, it's like da-da-da, beep, da-da-da, beep, da-da-da. Because the difference in us as people is but hey, for those that know, Jordy is just as naughty when the camera's off. That's all I'm gonna say.
Okay. Slight exposure towards it. Now, the last bit here is for you to plug yourself. We're going to put all of your links down in the description of the video. So tell people where they can find more Henrico M.
Well, if you want to find more of me and just me and my allness, twitch.tv/Henrico M. I'm live there pretty much every day except Mondays. I tend to stream on all platforms now, but no one watches TikTok for some reason with my content, or YouTube or Kick or anything like that. So twitch.tv/Henrico M. When you go there, you can get all my socials. But if you want to follow me on anything else or use anything else, I would ask you to subscribe to my YouTube, which is also just Henrico M. And that is literally it. That is the plug that I can give you. All my socials are on my Twitch. So just come to Twitch. That's all I care about. I don't care about the other things. But it's cool to have. I haven't tweeted in weeks. So
yeah, no, I
come to
got
Twitch.
on Twitter for ages as well. Dude. I'll be real.
I don't.
It's just too toxic.
Nothing to tweet.
To be
Just going
Twitch.tv
live, Twitch.tv like every day is like it got kind of boring. I don't really know what to tweet anymore. So
yeah,
Twitch.tv/Henricom. I would appreciate if you come say hello. Just pop a follow. If you watched this video and you found my channel through that video, I want you to come to my chat and all you have to type is Wookie has a small penis. Then I will know you're from this video. So do that for me. I'll give you some channel points to gamble away.
And I'll be maybe a little bit too honest. It is very cold. It is winter at the moment, so you wouldn't even be lying when you type that into his chat, which I think he'll find quite entertaining as I say this right now. But hopefully at the end of this now, our third and longest of the Who Is series, you have a better idea of who is Henrico M.